So what is it you said? You said, I have a question. I hope one day I can be a pro player. How did you become a pro? Like, do you have any contract and pay to play? Right. Okay. So my story is MK9 came out. Yeah. On release, I went to a tournament in Enfield called Ultimate Clash. You might know the Dragon Brothers. They organize a lot of Street Fighter events. They still do to this day. And I went there and I won it. Right. So off the break, I was winning. So it wasn't a matter of like, okay, I had to do all this training to get good. I was just obsessed with the game and was good and was winning tournaments. Like I went back, won it again. So I was like, okay, I'll just carry on. It wasn't making any money at that point. I was just doing it because I love Mortal Kombat. And then by the third event, Ketchup and Mustard appeared, yeah? So Ketchup and Mustard were the only ones to really challenge me at that point in time. This is when I was 19. Yeah, they were 19 as well. We were the same age. So yeah, they were the only ones to challenge me at that point in time. And at that tournament, Ketchup and Mustard both beat me, yeah? With Sector and Cyrax and MK9. Oh, let me just do this. Yeah, all right, so you can do something like that. So yeah, they beat me. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go figure them out. And then I never lost to them again in MK9. But I played in so many MK9 tournaments, I forgot about them. And yeah, I was just winning them all, right? But I remember going to tournaments where I'd go to a tournament, get first place, and I came back and I was like, how much did I make? And I made £1 profit. So I was going just to go, right? Just to meet all the people I'd be playing online. We was like meeting all. PND was formed during that time, right? I am PND. I'm with Ketchup and Mustard, Used for Glue. There's 12 Gauge, Omega K, all that. They're all a part of PND. It's a really old bunch of mates, basically. And yeah, so in MK9, competing, like the whole pro player thing you're on about, people weren't getting paid for it back then. So let's move on to MKX, all right? Actually, Injustice 1, same story. No one was getting paid for anything there. So we move on to MKX. Come around MKX, ESL started, yeah? Now, this is the beginning of when it was actually worth playing and being good. So round then, they had ESL, yeah? So that's $1,000 to play for every week. And that was like, I think it was like 45 weeks total or something. And yeah, I won every week, bar 2 of them. 1 I weren't there. So at that point, it pays to be like just sitting at home being good, right? But that is a rare occurrence. We haven't had anything like that kind of ESL season since then. And on top of that, they had, in the first month, they had multiple, I think it was multiple 1,000, 2,000 tournaments around the UK. And then it seemed just like every month or every other month, there was a 10K tournament for MK to travel around. They had Intercontinental Combat, which was you qualified for, and the total was 15K for the grand final. So MKX, if you're at the top, it's worth it. All right, be a pro, go ahead, get your dough. And then, of course, at the end of the first ESL season came Evo right after. So we went to ESL, bunch of us went there. The Russians, the European players went to Evo, and then I got second at Evo, and that basically got my name out there. So now, technically, by that point, I'm a pro, yeah? Come like the next year or whatever, I was just going to everything, either winning or getting second or whatever. So at that point, it's still worth it. 1 combo breaker, 1 SCR, blah, blah, blah. Move on to Injustice 2. They put more money in it. So instead of every event being 10K, every event was 20K. And the finals are worth more. And they had 2 finals. They had the Pro Tour finals. And then if you got top 8 of that, it qualified you for E-League, which was 150K finals. Sonic won the Pro Tour finals, got loads of money off that. Dragon won the E-League finals. It's probably still minted from that to this day. So yeah, and they also had, I think they had some sort of other E-League thing going on. At that point, Injustice 2, MKX, yeah, you could be a pro. You could legitimately be a pro, play the game, be good, and live off of it if you were good enough. All right. Season 2 of Injustice 2, it's dead. It's down. It's the beginning of the downfall. No more ESL like weekly 1Ks or whatever. No big prize pools, whatever like that. So by the time Rewind won Evo, he was not getting paid like anyone that like Dragon would have been paid at Evo the year before. So this is the beginning of the downfall. Come MK11, similar sort of story. You weren't really. We had tournaments, we had a tour, but you still weren't getting paid same way you would have been in Injustice 2 and MKX because the frequency was less. So at that point, you're not making enough to be a pro, you know. Well, let's see. I'm just going to. All right, okay. Let's see. Define professional. Yeah. Engaged in a specified activity as one's main paid occupation rather than as a pastime, right? So you're doing it as your paid occupation. Can't be doing it then. MK11, you ain't doing that as a paid occupation. But at the same point in time, 2020, it happened. People were all stuck inside, and we got basically what's a captive audience, yeah. And during that time, all the people that were smart or just lucky, right? I think I'm lucky, and then I clocked onto it, right? Because I'm an MK head. I love MK. No matter what, I'm just going to be involved in MK because I love MK. So I was streaming it, and then during this time, the people that were streaming that were doing probably better than they would have been doing if they were on the Pro Tour anyway. So why would you bother competing at that point? And I think the mid-level, like if you're a mid-level, I'm not the biggest YouTuber, and the only reason I'm the biggest streamer on Mortal Kombat and Twitch is because I'm here all the time and I got my name out there beforehand, right? But a mid-level content creator is probably getting paid more than a top-level player, and I can give you evidence of this, right? Let's see. We'll use Rewind's post as an example, yeah. So Rewind said, "Oh yeah, I can't thank Warner Brothers enough for putting money into the scene for the Pro Tour or whatever." Rewind made $350 for going to ECT this weekend, yeah. And a lot of you were telling me, Foxy, why didn't you go to ECT? And I was like, it's not worth it. Rewind got 5th and $350, right? Now, if you look at my results, I'm a consistent 5th place guy. I'm 5th, 4th, 3rd. 5th or 3rd, right? That's all I was getting in MK11. So if I went there for $350, right, let's price this up. $350 is half of my plane ticket. So I'm not even getting my plane ticket back. I'm still paying to place. It's not worth it. Whereas let's say like a mid-level player or content creator, let me just put it this way. I know multiple content creators that are making a load of money. You probably don't even know which ones they are. They're making so much. I was like, what the? Like so many pros, right? We've had this conversation. It's like, why are we bothering trying to be good when people are doing all these other things? It makes more sense, right? Because MK used to be like, I think the Pro Tour is now a casual tour, right? It's a tour for casuals because it doesn't pay enough for the pros to want to play at that level. All right, so we got Tekken Master, Hayate, Tweedy or whatever. These players ain't going to bother going to a tournament because they can't even get the return for going back there for the time that they're putting in. You play to win the game, yeah, but you play to win the game, but you don't always win the game. So like, what if you're a Street Fighter player and you go to the finals and you get 4th, you get 100 grand. If you go to the finals in MK, you get 10, and that's over a whole season. So they're getting 10 times more than what we are. I mean, I know it's out of NRS's and control or whatever, but to be like, the idea to want to be a pro, I wouldn't advise it when you could just, as long as you're interesting or something along those, it's interesting, funny, whatever, you could do so much more for yourself if you really love it by doing content creation. I promise you. I ain't just gonna be, oh, just do this for no reason. That is the way people should be going for now, until something changes into our favor for it being like that. Because like I was saying, Tekken Master, Tweedy, me, we ain't trying to go to a tournament, get a top placing, a 1% placing, and lose. Like even if we win, like let's say we win the tournament, if I won that tournament, I still wouldn't have made money on it. So is that really incentivizing you to be professional? Because you can't be professional when you're losing money for your profession. That is like the opposite, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Grow your locals. Don't even think, don't locals, whatever, you can do all that. That's what I'm saying. That's the casual side of it. Tournaments are pretty casual now. If you're actually being professional, you just be a content creator. You know what I'm saying? And especially with like the way they're paying out the Pro Tour now, not only is it like not actually paying out, they're paying to the top 16, which means they're taking away cuts from the top end of the prize pool. I mean, that's if it was a bigger game like Fortnite, then you could justify it because Fortnite players get paid just loads, like boatloads, and on top of that, there's 20 spots to qualify. So I think it's like really the Pro Tour is a casual tour disguised as under the banner of it being a Pro Tour, because you ain't gonna get the actual best players want to come out every time. Therefore, it's like bringing the skill of players a rung below the very top will now be the very top because they're closer to just geographically to the events that are labeled as Pro Tour. If you understand what I'm saying. So, yeah. To answer your question about like what is it to be a pro or whatever, I think the time has passed. It's not to say that it can't come back again, but I know that the idea is appealing or whatever. When I was a kid, I even knew this. I knew that I wanted to be a pro gamer. Since I went to my first tournament in Halo, I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. But I got lucky. I think I'm just lucky. I'm lucky I was good at MK. I'm lucky I was in the right place at the right time. And that luck, you can't really replicate that sort of thing. You just got to be in the right time at the right place. So the only real way you can do it now is just make something original, entertaining that people want to keep coming back to. Whether that's just your character as a person, then fine. That's good. That's always good. Like if you look at people like Dittle's a funny guy, so people go back and watch him. I know Rewind's a funny guy, so people go back and watch him. So if you want to be a pro, you can't, because you just lose money. Waz is actually killing it. Waz is actually, all right, let me put it into perspective for you, right? Waz isn't the top level player. He's good. He's the best in Australia, but he isn't the top level player in like global. But he's actually doing better than pretty much all of us because he's got the vision. He understood this vision way before all of us. He's actually the pro. Waz is the most pro player. Ketchup and Mustard, they're pro. They're actually pro. So what we need to do is just, and the thing is, the more, this isn't like competition as well, the more we actually help each other in this same area, the more we all get out of it. Mortal Kombat is eternal. Mortal Kombat is eternal. If you look, you go on YouTube, people are watching things from MKX, MK9, MK Deception DC, whatever, to this day, which are from so long ago. They're still watching it. So realistically, the well is limitless just through YouTube over time. We just need to be smart, dedicated, and just play our hand correctly. So yeah, don't try and be a pro unless you're trying to do it casually. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what more can I really say? Like, I know what it is to be at the top, like the very top, and it hasn't been worth it. Like, if you remember Madzin was actually aware of this in Injustice 2. We played a whole season of Injustice 2. He got top 16. He went to pretty much everything. He wasn't sponsored, and he was paying us all off of his own dime. He gets top 16. He loses early in the finals, and he gets a handshake and a hoodie. So all of that money to get a handshake and a hoodie, like that, and he's a pro. Madzin was a pro. Like, if that's what you're going by, top 16 pro players got invited to the finals. He's a pro, and he got a hoodie. If you want to make something of it, just be original, be funny, make something that people want to keep coming back to. That's all I can really suggest. Be in the right place at the right time. That's all you can do. And now I'm going to try and learn this Johnny Hype combo and abuse someone in rank with it. There's my little talk about being a pro.